Hey guys, today I have a review on the Palethius custom Balisongs. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Palethius work. He started as a knife modder and has done like really really crazy mods actually. Just some really super sharp work on the Benchmade 51. He's done TAC 2 mods, and he's started to do some Alpha Beast and Replicant mods as well. Pretty much whatever knife you have, he can do a just an outstanding job modifying it to the look and specs that you want in terms of anodizing, extra machining on the handles. He does some blade work as well, as far as like putting a swedge on it, crowning the spines, giving it a different look, polish, finish. His work got so good that over at BRS we decided to make him pretty much the head guy of the BRS custom shop. So that really just goes to show you how much we like his work and admire his work and respect the amount of talent and skill and craftsmanship that he has. And we knew it was only a matter of time, and I think the community knew it was only a matter of time before Palethius was going to move on to making his own knives. When you can modify a knife as well as he does, and we're talking like not really just anodizing or rounding off a handle. He's done stuff to the extent of making complete sets of handle scales, right? So that's a really complicated job. That's pretty much manufacturing a piece of a whole piece of equipment, a whole piece, or a whole scale for a Balisong, right? That's really intricate work. You're making something from scratch. It's pretty much custom work. Also, if you've looked at some of the stuff he's done on Attack 2, or say an Alpha Beast like the missing link mutant that he did for us, I mean, the level of machining really just takes it to another level, to the point where really all he had to do was figure out how to make a blade and grind it, which I'm making it sound easy. It's not easy. I would say actually that part's probably way harder than the modification part. But it was only a matter of time that once he did figure this part out, and we've seen him kind of play around with grinds, you put the handle work and the ability to machine along with the ability to grind and design and make a blade, well, there you go. Now you have a custom knife. So as you can see, he's experimented with some grinding and some blade design and blade making, and now he has the whole package. These three, I don't want to say they're the first knives he ever made or the first Balisongs he ever made. There certainly could have been some that he's designed or made before, but these are some of the first that he's releasing to the public and kind of launching his custom knife, custom Balisong endeavors. So I was the first in line to get the pass along, and right out of the box, I was super impressed with what I saw. The pictures looked incredible, and having them now here in person, you always hear the expression that the pictures don't do it justice, and I'd have to say that this is certainly a case of just that. The pictures really don't do it justice. You do have to handle these in person to really truly respect the amount of work he put into it and the amount of detail he put into it, while maintaining some very tight tolerances and exemplifying very very good machining. And the blade grinds, making blades and grinding blades and knowing how to do angles and profiles and make them look real clean, it is a lot harder than it looks. It's not simply a matter of just taking a blade to a belt grinder and all of a sudden you just have a knife on your hand. It's very hard. It's something that takes a lot of practice, years of experience, and it's something that I'm sure if you ask even the best custom knife makers, they'll tell you that you can always do better. It's an art form, one that takes a really long time to master. So he of course is on that pursuit of mastering it, and I would say since the year or two that we've seen his work, these blades are proof that he's definitely come a long way. These look really great, and it has that special Palethius touch to it. As you can see, the spine, his crown, but he's got this fossilized look to the top of the blade, and it's just really incredible work. What I really like about these knives is I've seen there's kind of like, this is just my observation in seeing custom knives. You have the custom knife maker that's really just keen on clean machining and really tight lines. So the custom comes out kind of looking like a really awesome production knife, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think a great example is Bowie Ballistic. So his stuff is just super clean, perfectly symmetrical. It really just has that like fresh off the machine look. You know, every hole and everything is symmetric. Every hole's clean. Every line is clean and sharp, right? And then you have people like believe his name is Ben Cardoso, and I apologize if I'm messing that up. He's a French knife maker, and your guys like Nathan Dewey, who take on kind of a more, it's like they're not focused so much on the machine look. They actually go for more of like a hand finished look. So everything is not the same on every single handle. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that, you know, it's just very free form, very freestyle. So like every handle kind of has like a different look, a different appearance to it, because it truly is like hand filed, and they use very you know, sometimes like raw material, in the sense of like maybe using like a piece of a spacer or something, or a piece of a file for a spacer, things of that nature, to kind of give it this very raw look, right? So you kind of have those two extremes, super clean, and then the guys who are like give it that kind of grungy, real native look. So Palethius, I kind of see right between those two. He's got the super clean lines, as you can see, like in these titanium scales. These lines are like just incredibly sharp. You know, this is excellent machining. You know, very symmetrical. All the lines are really sharp, real tight. But then at the same time, he's put in his Palethius touch, which to me is you know, this fossilization, and the way that he anodized it, the way that these ridges here are a little bit lighter, and then of course the blade with these contrasting lines, and the I don't know if it was file work or how he did it exactly, but it kind of gives it this apocalyptic, you know, Judgment Day kind of look that blends in very seamlessly to this clean machine look. So it's a really cool hybrid of the two different styles, in my opinion. I'm just going to kind of go through each one of them from the latch all the way to the tip of the blade. This one here is the G10 model. They all kind of have the same hole pattern here, and I really do like this pattern. It's kind of traditional to what you see in your Benchmade 42, but it stands, you know, it still is very distinctive in its own style and design. You know, he didn't completely stick to that traditional hole pattern. He kind of went and did his own thing, and I really do appreciate that. The latch here, he put 3 holes in there. I like that attention to detail. Lockup is very solid, and it seems tight enough that it would actually hold after some use as well. Spacers, he gave this really nice wave pattern. I've seen him do that to some replicants. Looks great. The anodization really comes through real nice on this particular piece. And the blade itself, this is kind of like a clip point, kind of reminiscent of a 51. You know, the grinds are very clean on them. I like them. They came out very sharp as well. I really like the look, and to my understanding, this is actually a natural hamon, because they were differentially heat treated, which is really cool. Here's the the titanium model. These two seem like they're just about the same, just anodized different colors. Same type of latch, lockup extremely solid again. What he did that was a nice touch here is, you know, you have that fossilized look at the bottom, and it just blends right into this super clean machining, and then it blends back to that fossilized look. This one in particular is kind of cool because the way he anodized it, it kind of fades in color, so it just emphasizes that blend from the machining into that fossilized look again. And the blades here are really cool. This one is kind of like, reminds me kind of like a kukri, and I really just love that finish that he put on it. Just looks really like, again, that apocalyptic type of look. You know, it really fits this blade style well. And then this one is your standard kind of I guess like a Bowie, right? I like this look a lot. I really like what he did to the top here. What's kind of cool is it looks rough, but it's actually, as far as handling, it's pretty smooth because it actually is crowned. So it looks rough, but to the hand it's actually very nice. And the grind lines just came very, very clean on all the blades. So here's a little side-by-side comparison of the Palethius Custom next to the midtech Alpha Beast. As far as the length is concerned, it's going to be similar to the production Alpha Beast. But as you guys may or may not know, the midtech Alpha Beast is a bit thicker. So if you hold them, their backs here, here's a comparison of the thickness of the midtech Alpha Beast on the left and the Palethius on the right. Almost the same, really. So they are actually pretty thick, and I know a lot of people like the thickness of the midtech. So if you're into that, this will actually suit you pretty well, based on the thickness. Compared to the replicant, it's again roughly the same. Maybe the replicant stands just a slight bit thicker, just because it has a little bit more of a dome. I don't know. I mean, in holding them here, it's something you probably wouldn't even notice while you're flipping. But thickness is about the same, just to give you a point of reference. And as far as the length, here's a quick length comparison. When they're closed, very similar to the replicant and the Alpha Beast. Specs are super close, and the way that they taper down and the width of each handle is also very close. So if you're used to flipping an Alpha Beast or replicant, as far as the length and the thickness, not too much of an adjustment. So here's a comparison on the length when they're all open. Again, very, very similar lengths, just based on the blade profile. You might get a little bit of a variance. The midtech Alpha Beast and the replicant here, the standard replicant, this is a prototype, but very close to the production model. They stand just a hair longer because of their blade profile, but overall you can expect very similar dimensions to a BRS replicant or an Alpha Beast, as open and close on the as compared to the Palethius Customs. As far as how they flip, to be honest, I didn't really get to flip them as hard as I wanted to, and as long as I wanted to, just because it is a pass around, and he is trying to keep it down to about a week, and just, you know, based on my schedule and everything, it's been a little bit hard to get out there and really get ample time. When I did flip, though, I found that the titanium models really carry their weight super well. I really liked the way that they flipped. There was enough weight on the back end of them and just throughout the handles to really help you carry out your rollovers, your helixes, and any type of momentum-based trick. You just need a little bit of an effort, and the knife would kind of take care of itself. So if you did your part, it really came out. The trick really went smoothly with a good amount of speed. It's kind of a blend between the AB and the replicant, being that I'll have to post the weights on here, but I don't really want to talk about weights specifically by number. I want to talk about it more by feel. So the way it feels is kind of between an Alpha Beast and a replicant, where it's like, I know the Alpha Beast can feel a little bit heavier, more momentum based, and replicant feels a little bit lighter. So these are kind of the titanium ones are kind of between that. So it was a really nice balance, and the handles felt real good in the hand, the way that they're rounded off. So I would say that they make a very good flipping platform. The G10 one was a little bit different. It was, because it is G10 with a tie liner, it felt a little bit obviously a little bit lighter, took a little bit more effort to flip. I would say it's more between a 51 and a old school 42, not the 62, the 42 that's titanium. So it's got a bit more, it's got a lot more oomph to it, you know, a lot more weight and momentum as compared to a 51. But it's not going to have like as much momentum as, say, like a regular channel Balisong. that's, you know, all tie or obviously all steel. So it's kind of like between those two. I did find you have to use a little bit more effort in flipping the G10 one. If you were a little bit light on your release or your push off or your rollover, then you might find the trick stalling. So you'd have to adjust to that. I wouldn't say it's a fault of the knife exactly. I mean, some people like to flip the 51, and that's just how you have to flip a 51. You gotta, you know, maybe start your rollovers out a little bit further from the pivots, give it a little bit more of a push, but once it gets going, people sometimes like that lighter touch. So this is kind of like that, except it's got a little bit more weight in the handles. So you know, it might be a little bit more forgiving if you weren't as aggressive as you need to be in initiating a rollover or a particular type of trick. So my final thoughts on the Palethius custom Balisong knives are that they're excellent knives. I really was not surprised at all when I got them and how they were. I mean, I saw them in the pictures. I was like, I know those are, you know, sometimes you can just see and just be like, you know what, I know those are going to be good. Plus the fact that I've seen a lot of Palethius's work already. You know, I know it's clean. I've heard from other people that they really like the work. Obviously, we use them for the BRS custom shop. So when I got these, my expectations were definitely met. Very clean work, very nicely done. I think he's going to have a lot of success with these. I really think he could be a very successful custom knife maker, and I think the other guys in the pass around are going to be just as impressed. Really just outstanding work, and this is just the beginning. You know, as a custom knife maker, the goal is to evolve and improve, and you know, really get as deep as you can in your creativity and in your craftsmanship. So this is just the beginning for him. I'm sure as he improves and as he gets more ideas, it's only going to get better. So you know, I really think he'll be a up and coming knife maker that people have to look out for and look forward to seeing his knives. So I thank Palethius for letting me be in this pass around. It was very enjoyable having these for the brief moment that I did. And I really, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll put a link to his Instagram and any other details that he wants me to include. So in case you guys want to get in touch with him, that you can do that, or if you have any questions, you can get in touch with him. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned, guys. I'll have a lot more stuff coming up.